You go and get an awesome listing appointment, and it clicked and it was good, and all you have to do is follow up with that CMA. And a day goes by, yeah? 3 days go by? 5 days? A week? You're like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? 2 weeks go by, it's too late. It's too late. And you lose it. Why? Why do we do that? Doesn't that one hurt? Because everyone here has some experience. It may not be a listing. Why do we do that, right? There's something, that's sabotage, you guys. That's sabotage. I'm going to help you how to get out of this. But the reason I'm bringing this up as the first talk of the day is that this is a context for which I want you guys to view everything today, right? You're like, do I have an upper limit on that? So self-sabotage is the most common, and it's probably what you're doing. Can't enjoy success. That's what my coach recognized. My coach recognized before I hit the self-sabotage that that's when she saw my warning flag. I was like, yeah, I got the house, I couldn't accept it. I couldn't accept the joy and the fact that I was a lakefront, waterfront house owner. Just couldn't do it at the time. Now I can, but I couldn't do it at the time. And so I was on an escalator with a really successful business person during this time, and they opened their phone and found out that they just got a massive cash infusion, a 9-figure cash infusion that day. And I said, let me see it in the bank account. I want to see the bank account of what a couple $100 million in the bank account looks like. And they showed me. They showed me. I saw the screenshot of it. And this person was like, I was like, that's your reaction? Like, this is a moment. This is a life-changing moment. Yeah. I don't know. You tell me, but I'm like, I think you celebrate that moment. I'm pretty sure, So anytime you find yourself holding back, you can't accept it. It's too good to be true. We want to be cautious about it. That's when I want you guys to kind of gut check yourself, right? This is another really good telltale sign. You avoid taking risks and prevent change to create stability. So I see this with clients. I don't know if you guys either relate to this or see it with clients, but are you relating to this or waving someone over? Oh, so she's like this. I'm like, okay, that's great, that's great. This is when, they hit a certain amount of money in their savings or, a certain amount of equity in their home or whatever it is, and then they don't spend another dollar. You know what I mean? So you're in very much protection mode so much that you're not going to do any growth. And this could be in other aspects of your life, but financial is a really good way. And again, not slowing down to savor the wins. This looks a little different from my house example, because this is when you find yourself going, okay, got to keep going. I can't stop to celebrate. I have to keep going. It's like a fear. It's like that fear sets in, like can't stop, can't accept that. No. We did not hit 100 units. It doesn't matter because next year's 150. Next year's 150. So I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going, right? Any of these signs are what you guys need to look for when you're looking at an upper limit problem. For me, what was starting to happen clearly was I was starting to hit my stride. And what my coach saw before I saw, which is why it's great to have coaches in our lives, is that, between the house, and it looked like I was gaining momentum on the marathon. I had just started my role at Place that year. There's a lot that were going really right in my life, and it was too much probably at once for this little brain to handle at the time. Not anymore. I have good news. But at the time, this little brain just exploded is really what happened. Maybe the heart too. Maybe the heart and the brain exploded a little bit. It was just too much going on, right, at the same time. Check yourself on that. If you're like me and you tend to live your life like waiting for the other shoe to drop, like too much is going right. That's how I have to fight it. I want to tell you that's how I used to be. I would say that that's partly true, if we're being honest. I still am wired that way a little bit. Okay, I lost my 100 pounds, it's too much. I have to be cautious, head on a swivel. I have to always be aware of what's going on. If that's you, pay attention. These are very clear signs that you're hitting an upper limit problem, right? This is a really interesting one for upper limit problem, and I want to be careful. I don't want to insinuate that we get sick, and every time we get sick, it's an upper limit problem. However, you guys ever have the big thing you're building up to, the big trip, the big appointment, and doesn't it seem like sometimes that's when we allow our bodies to just let go and freaking get sick? How many times, right, before the big vacation, you're like, no. So I'm not trying to imply that getting sick is this. I am saying there is some research and data that shows that we can kind of, our bodies can hold on for so long and then let go and possibly be more open to that, is what I'm saying. There's a lot of examples of people who are in public speaking and they get their biggest gig and they lose their voice. There's literally examples and studies about it and case studies about it, and they lose their voice. So the good news is we're going to get through this, and this is really what I want you guys to think about today as we're hearing everything, and I really hope that you're recognizing some of this in your own life. The first one is awareness. I would say this is 80 or 90% of it, and like side note, awareness is probably 80 to 90% of most personal growth. Whether you know all the steps to anything that you learn, whether it's Tony Robbins or here or anything, usually awareness is more than half the battle, right? So just being aware of this, hopefully I've planted a seed, and this is enough to kind of plant a seed so that you're like, I remember that girl was talking about this, I want to pay attention to this. That right there is going to get you way ahead of probably where you are now, right? But how do you actually battle through it? Like being aware is one thing, but we need tactics. We need ways that we can battle through it. So the first thing is revisiting your goals. I have a zinger for you. The purpose of a goal isn't to hit the goal. The purpose of a goal is to become the person you have to be in order to hit the goal. Purpose of a goal is to become the person you have to be to hit the goal. To become the person you have to be to hit the goal. So the purpose of my marathon goal wasn't to run the marathon, it was to become a marathon runner. What do marathon runners do? They run and they walk consistently multiple times a week. I haven't shared this with a ton of people, but I am signed up for the New York Marathon for this November. I just got a pit in my stomach saying that out loud. But my comment to you is, you guys, this is my marathon. The race is just a celebration. That's my mantra this year. I am in the marathon. You are watching me in the marathon. The marathon is what I do on a Tuesday, a Thursday, and a Saturday, and all the other days. That's the marathon. Not November 3rd. That's not really. That's a celebration of this. I am in it. The journey is, as it turns out, the destination. So when you look at your goals, really ask yourself if you're willing to become the person to do them, and revise them if you are not. Don't break promises to yourself. Don't fool yourself. Don't set goals that are so sky high because you feel good about it because someone told you to double or triple your goals. Do it. I encourage you to do it. Don't do it if you're not truly willing to become that person. Don't set a goal to sell 100 homes on your own unless you are truly willing, and I am not kidding, to lead generate 3 to 5 hours a day. And if you are, I applaud you. If not, really be realistic and stop breaking your promise to yourself every day. Because that's really not a good place to live. Okay, that was a little tough, I know. But I do want you guys to really make sure that your goals are the right ones. I did not set a goal to do a marathon last year. That wasn't the goal. The goal is to get healthy. That was the goal, right? I had to put that in check because my knee-jerk reaction was, I'm signing up next year. I'm doing this. And I said, no, I'm not. No, that's not the goal. Who I need to become is a healthy person, and then maybe 24, maybe 25. And I just decided this is the year for that. But it's only because I want to become a marathon walker. I'm not a runner. Let's be clear. Walker. I don't want anyone to get terribly excited about it. I did put in a couple of pictures. That's me in Patagonia. It's the only picture of me on the marathon course because I was by myself in Patagonia almost the whole time in last place. So there's that. But I have to tell you guys, it was an incredibly, I just look at that picture. Being by myself in Patagonia, battling those demons was powerful and hard and beautiful. So giving yourself these big challenges in life, like I don't regret a second of it. It was also really hard. It was really lonely at times, and it was really invigorating at times too. It was a really, really interesting journey. At the break, if you're interested, I'll talk to you about that. It was a really cool program that I did. Okay, here's a big one. This is one I want you guys to really, really think about and maybe even write down. Increase your capacity for the experience. So I'm going to say for joy, but whatever it is. So what I have been working on pretty consistently now for the last 1.5, 2 years since I've been working on upper limit problem is increasing my capacity to receive what I am earning and manifesting in my life. So here's a great example. I had this awareness and I was kind of going through all of this, and as all of this was happening, my middle son, I have 3 kids, my middle son was going through he was converting to Catholicism, which was really special. It was just his own journey. My immediate family is not Catholic, so this was a really deeply meaningful journey. As it happens, I am now converting. It's been a really cool thing in my family. It doesn't matter what your religion is, I think you can understand this. Something like this is a deeply meaningful thing to have your child find their path. Let's just say that, right? So we all flew out to Virginia to go to his confirmation. And it was a special moment. My dad had just got the all clear from cancer, and he was kind of toddling. He made it to Virginia, all the way over to Virginia, and we rented this Airbnb, and I was just in a joyful state. It was just like one of those moments where everything was coming together, like we talked about. There's a lot of good happening. And this is my moment where I'm going to falter, normally. So I remember, we just had this breakfast, and we're going to have this great day, and Aiden's going to get confirmed, and I'm in the shower. And I get in there, and I'm immediately like, and I start going, yeah, but I got to worry about this now. And I have to worry about this, and I need to be careful. I start going into the thing, and I was like, no, you're not going to do that this time. You're not going to do that this time. And it was a long hair shampoo. I was like, you're not going to do it this time. I was in that shower for like 10 minutes. And the reason I know I was in there a long time is because it was only one bathroom, and my daughter was like, I need the bathroom. And I'm like, I got to work through this. And I just decided, I thought, Via, give yourself today, one day, just give yourself a mental vacation for one day. I want you to practice enjoying this life. I want you to just practice being in the joy of everything that you have today. Your whole family's here, your son, a lot is going right. Just one day, you can go into worry mode tomorrow, one day. And I just gave myself it was like a vacation day. And I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I did it. And oh my gosh, is it addictive when you do this, because you're mindful and you're engaged and you just are not allowing the negative influences to come in. And then what do you think I did the next morning? It's like, I don't want to go back. I like this. I like this state I'm in. So I did the same thing the next day. And I just kind of started this daily commitment. What am I really grateful for? Am I allowing myself to enjoy the lake house? You guys, you should see me now. I go to that lake house. Hey, everybody, I live on the lake. And I go there, and I sit on my back thing, and I drink my coffee for an hour. I savor it, and I enjoy it. And I do the same thing with my weight. I love this body now. I am buying clothes. Please increase your capacity for the things that you are working so hard for. Okay, that was a really big one. Here's the last one that I'm going to touch on, and then I'm going to skim through the rest because I know that we have time constraints, but this is important for real estate. Okay, whatever is happening up here, maybe here, I don't know, but up here and here, this is a really big one. The example I gave where you go on this great appointment, everything goes well, and you didn't follow up for some reason, or you don't call somebody back, or whatever it is. Create a habit of execution where you do it anyway. This has been one of the best things I have ever done for my business. It has my place roll and my real estate team have both increased because of this, which is a do it anyway. Do it anyway. Create this thing. So what I do is, because I'm just not naturally going to be good at follow-up. I'm just not. It's just the way I'm wired, right? I'm going to be really good at hunting you and the initial thing, and then I'm going to drop off. I mean, that's just my natural inclination. I mean, says half of the salespeople in this room, let's be honest. But so here's what you have to do. What you do is every day you just say, this hour block, this is, for 1 hour, all I'm going to do is follow. The rest of the day doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter. I will follow up. I will force myself to do whatever I need to do to follow up, and I just push through it. And what I say to myself is, this is going to be horrible. It's been too long. I've screwed this one up. It's too late. And I get all the worst calls done first. And so what happens over time is that, you know, it's just a habit of execution. So whatever's going on in here just doesn't matter. I just don't battle it anymore. So whatever it is, create a habit of execution despite your motivation level or despite what you're thinking or feeling that day, right? The last one is, you know, just try to create your role. And this is something to think about today as we hear all these great panelists and speakers. Try to create your role so that you're working in your zone of genius, meaning, you know, if you're fighting hiring an assistant and you're a solo agent and you're at like 24 units a year, 28 units a year, and it's just going to increase, you know, you're not wired to be your own assistant. Newsflash. Like if you're selling that many homes, you're just not going to be good at being your own assistant. And if you don't have one, you are one. And so, you know, just think about what can you do to set up your life so that you're working more in your zone of genius. If you're in here and you have a team, really think about where's your highest and best use. It's going to be in recruiting and getting listings and in driving the business forward. That's where it's going to be. Or is that where you're spending your time? And if not, really look at where you are spending your time and leveraging your team around you, right? Because what will happen is we're going to be more motivated to do the work we need to do when we're in our zone of genius. When we're in our zone of good enough, it's a scary place. That's a comfort zone, right? That's okay. I thought you were excited. That's good. It's good. It's good. So I think I'm gonna exit it with that because of time constraints.